he can start.
Okay, so I am Asari Bhavyang and today I am going to talk about the African literature, and my topic is about Fanonism and constructive violence in Petals of Blood. So let's begin. So first we will see about the author. So Gugiwa Thiong'o. So he was born at 5th of January 1938 in Kenya, and he is most successful Kenyan writer, and his works like novel, plays, short stories, and essay. He is famous for, and he is currently a distinguished professor of English and comparative literature of University of California. Now we will see about the petals of the blood. So petals of the blood, a suspenseful investigation of spectacular trip murder in upcountry Kenya. Then its story of the four suspense unfold a diversity picture emerge of a modern third world nation whose frustration people feel their leader have failed them time after time. And this novel author was inspired without a charge by Kenya government, and a newspaper around the world called attention to case, and protests were raised by a human right groups. Now we will see a Fanonism and constructive violence in Petals of the Blood. So the Petals of the Blood was published in 1977, and Gugiwa Thiong'o was a writer, and he deals with the independent Kenya, where the neocolonialism was taking a place of the colonial rules, and the struggle even rise in the remote obscure village El Moro. Independence and the destructive of hope, about the betrayal, about the trump of corruption over humanity, and Fanon, who considered there is no other way than violence for the decolonization, and this is rather a cleansing force for colonizing people, which redeem their inferiority complex. This was told by Amin. And now we'll see about the introduction. So Petals of the Blood was demonstrated the importance of the collective action to empower ordinary people to resist oppression. According to Fanonism, violence is a constructive force, especially the colonized countries have no other way for decolonizing the violence. Kenya has a long history of struggling well as violence until the independence in 1963. Even after the independence, Kenya fights with the same situation, holding different slogan. The novel Petals of the Blood contain the struggle of four protagonists: Munira, Abdullah, Wanja, and Karega, at their disillusion about the colonial world of independence Kenya. Now we will see about Fanonism. So in Richard of the Earth, Fanon present the vision of violence as a constructive force. The new formulas introduced decolonizing is always a violence phenomenon, and the naked truth of decolonizing evokes for us the staring bullets and bloodstain knives with her imminent for it. And I would like to give example that in Richard of the Earth we have seen that how that black woman was suffering a lot because she is due to two reasons, that she is a black woman, that's why man is dominating on them, and second one, that she is a woman, that's why also she has to obey the man, and that's why at the end they rebel for that, and they were able to get. And then Kenya's history of violation. So Nuigo was very much influenced by Mau Mau rebellion, and it was a war that touched the popular imagination and was forever to change the fate of Kenya and many other countries under British rule. For the first time, the peasant, the wretched of the earth, were taking the war to a higher sophisticated country with a long military history. It was told by Amin. The situation continued up to 1963 when Kenya was finally independent. Now we will see the constructive violence in Petals of the Blood. So this novel, the Kenya of working class of all nationalities and the heroic struggle against the dominant by nature. Here we can see that Kenya, whose face is reflected in Ilomoro, the center action for the novel. And then Kenya, where neocolonialism put the interest of foreigner and abandoned the people who has suffered and died for the land. Now we will see the protagonist concerning violence. So Petals of the Blood is so bloody deep and detailed that by the time it's and nobody cares for the fate of the three people who died, wherein it was the Vanja, Kariga, Munira, and Abdullah who has killed them. Vanja, the extraordinary struggling female character like Kenya itself, has fight to stay alive and who destructive in never too far away, being humiliated by the society and the hospitality of the world. She allows herself to turn cruel like a surrounded. And then the described the reality of neo-colonial situation in plain formula. You eat somebody or you are eaten. You sit on somebody or somebody sits on you. She questioned, has Chimeria seemed less than her? Why is she the only sufferer? Then we can see in the novel that Abdullah was a betrayal by the country for whom he has fought in the Mau Mau rebellion, and we can see the independence that Kenya failed the rebellion, the one leg fighter who sacrificed his family and land for the country, and then also he is not been appreciated. And we can see that Kimeria who betrays his friend during the Mau Mau rebellion, and we see that Kariga believed that one could not prevent violence by being one of the violent. He was sure that there must be other ways to a new world. And now in the conclusion part, in the novel No Ego finally expose some optimism by means of constructive violence. All the protagonists actively take a part or provide a silent support in the violent act of purification. Vanja's pregnancy, Joseph's school rebellion, Kariga fat in renewed streak and protest in Ilmoro. The further generation with the spirit of purification and courage for the parents involved in freedom fighter and social revolution will be born to restore the serenity. The novel concludes with the implied question: there are can people do anything to reverse their position as helpless a victim, or will they take the means that are the hand? And here are some of the references. Thank you.
Can you say that what is the reason or what writers influence to write Petals of Blood?
We can see that the petals of the blood background is about a Mau Mau rebellion, and we can see that Gugiwa Thiong'o has most of his work is related to the reality based, and he has written this because of the event that has happened of Mau Mau rebellion, and we can see that influence in his works also. And in Petals of the Blood, we have seen the suffering of the main protagonist, that how when she was a teenage at that time, how Kariga misbehaved with her, and then she has to work as a at a bar, and after that that he is without a land, then also he has to work at a whorehouse. So we can see the women's struggle in that also.
How does Kenya symbolized in Petals of the Blood? Can you explain?
In Petals of the Blood, it is about a post-colonialism. So we can see that during the Mau Mau rebellion, people were ruling upon the African people, and uh, in Kenya. In Kenya, when the colonized people have gone from there, then they started establishing the new system in the Kenya, and they demolished the old system, and they want a new system to be established. Thank you.
It's like we change this on this direction, this side. Here, in this direction. So, one or two suggestions which are necessary, like you cited one source, that is Amin, Tasnim and Amin you have cited, and you have used that in text also. So in the previous two presentations, you were telling that what you have to do. So here you can see that you find Amin inside the slides also, and then it is cited at the end also. That is how it should be done. One thing you have to do, it should not be that only one article that you are talking about. So whichever topic you are taking, you have to see how 3-4 people are talking about it. And at least like it is a presentation, so 3-4 is enough. When you will write presentation, many more you will have to bring. So try to do that not only one.
Sir, but material is not available of that topic, that's why.
No, try to see, it will be, read text then find that.
No, it is written, but he is not like profession. He is just a student and like that.
No,
I found that.
I think now if I will see, then I will give you 10 good articles on this to find it. Then, so then how will you say material is not available? Yeah. At least whatever things like Hina madam has done on this thing, the work.
Yes.
So her thesis also might give you so many citations. Her thesis, so that also is not cited. It is one that immediately is coming in my mind. That thesis also you might have cited. And then you look at that thesis, you find what is cited there also. So then it opens up. So how to move into finding the resources? Sometimes Google is not helping, but you can see one source, and even Amin, if that is cited, anything by Amin, any other articles, other things are cited by that writer.
I have made presentation from that.
Huh? No, you have used that, but how to move on when you have a problem of finding the sources? Because if you will tell the same thing in the dissertation also, then how are we going to solve that at the end of the thing? So you should know that how to get into finding the resources. And if now in this, at least there is Moses Ishikawa cited here in the citation that you have done. Then Brown, David, Morgan is there, Lara, Wrestler is there, Paul, Dawn is there. At least 4-5 are there in the article, which you already have cited. So that you can get it. That is, and when you go to these articles, you get many more other. That is the way to find. If Google is not helping you read the bibliography record or work cited or references of the articles that you are referring, and that will open up. So when you go there again 4-5 more, again another 4-5 more, and you will find that within no time you have 25 articles to cite about. So if that is a genuine problem that you say that there is no material available, then this is the way to reach to that sources there. Okay, that is fine that you have done. Fine. Move on, change on.